Florence leaves North Carolina but leaves plenty of damage in the Piedmont Triad, and the dangers still exist.
River levels are rising and some roads are too waterlogged to travel down.
The Alamance Burlington school system is only on a 2-hour delay today, and that's got a lot of parents on social media upset and asking why. And so are we. We'll have an answer for you coming up.
Tonight we are getting our very first look at Currituck Beach, the damage it caused and everything that was spared.
The water has for the most part receded, but the cleanup is far from over. I spoke to many who are in the tearful recovery process.
The storm ends in our state and the recovery begins. We show you how North Carolinians are coming together. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts right now.
North Carolina is now recovering after several devastating days. More than 2,600 people had to be rescued. More than 450,000 power outages remain, and rising rivers are still a threat.
WFMY News 2 has team coverage across the Triad and the state, bringing you the latest information.
Take a look. A live picture from Florence from our sky taken earlier today. Our WFMY News 2 team shot this video earlier today. Florence is blamed for at least 24 deaths in the Carolinas, 6 in North Carolina and 18 in North Carolina, including a 1-year-old boy who was swept away by rushing floodwaters in Union County near Charlotte.
Right now, we want to take you live to Fayetteville, where a couple has been rescued after being swept away by floodwaters.
WFMY News 2's Adrian Broadus is there now. And Adrian, you had to call 911.
Yeah, good evening to you. The water is dangerous and it can be deadly. But about an hour ago, we saw the best possible outcome after a woman and her fiance tried to cross the McCormick Bridge here. If you take a look, you'll notice that the barricades are in place. This was the scene moments ago. They held onto the guardrail as they tried to cross the flooded McCormick Bridge. After making it a few feet, what we didn't want to see, they slipped. We were here working and we called 911 immediately. As the woman pleaded for help, the wait was frightening. That's when neighbors leaped to action. They struggled, but they were safely able to pull the couple from the swift water.
A frightening situation out there in Fayetteville. Here in the Triad, some people in Greensboro will need to look for new places to live after their apartment complex was condemned.
Some people living there say it all has to do with the flooding that happened this week. WFMY News 2's Erica Stapleton is live in Greensboro now. And Erica, you spoke to some of the people living there.
Here at Pinecroft Place, folks have been moving all of their wet stuff out. You can actually see a truck leaving with a lot of gear right now. And there's just been moving trucks. This parking lot has been so busy all day long, and it's been busy inside those apartments too. Crews have been working, ripping out carpets, sucking up water, trying to get all that wet furniture out of these apartments. And the floors are just saturated. We were inside one earlier and you can actually hear it squishing under your shoes. But to make matters even worse, once these apartments are cleaned up, people can't even go back in because they are condemned. The city condemned them this afternoon, several of them, about 30 or so apartments. And Marquez Lyons, he's one of the folks that has been living in these apartments. He's been here for about a month, but his girlfriend has been here for about a year. So he's familiar with the place. Nothing like this has happened before. And he actually woke up to the flood this morning. And it was a really scary morning for him. And now he's left with a situation where there's no place left to go.
When they came to evacuate, we were asleep. Like, I could have drowned in my sleep. And I mean, that's not a comfortable feeling. And then wake up and the only people who are out here are saying, we don't know what's going on.
Now, a lot of the folks impacted by the floods are working to get all of their stuff out today. But again, a lot of people are like Marquez there, where they don't actually have anything set up or where they need to go. So it's a lot of figuring out from here on top of dealing with all their wet stuff in their apartments. As for the condemnation orders, they were served this afternoon. There was a city worker out here. We have reached out to the city with our questions as to when people need to move out and just kind of the reasoning behind those orders. And we have not heard an answer at this point in time. They are working on getting an answer to us. So we'll hopefully have that for you guys and we can give you an update when we know it.
What a frightening wake-up call. Erica, live in Greensboro, thank you so much. Now, one of the first places to flood in Greensboro is North Buffalo Creek running through Latham Park. Overnight, the creek rose, cresting above a bridge over the river.
Floodwaters reached neighbors' porches and front steps, seeping into some basements.
First time seeing it here in the 5 years I've lived here, come to my front door. And there's a little bit in the basement, but our neighbors unfortunately did take the brunt of the flooding.
Really a different situation across our area. As the day progressed and the sun peeked through the clouds, the creek fell, leaving behind debris. Well, check out this video from Alamance County. Roads flooded and folks trying to drive through it to get to work.
The school system there operated on a 2-hour delay today, and some parents contacted us saying they were upset by the choice.
WFMY News 2's Tony Black joins us live now in Alamance County. Tony, you talked to some parents today who say the school district made the wrong call.
Yes, so the Alamance Burlington school system sent out this message here on Facebook citing weather concerns or changes in weather conditions would result in a 2-hour delay. And that had a lot of parents asking why. In fact, they wanted to know why they didn't cancel the school and wanted an answer from the district about their decision. They wanted because of flooded roads like the ones we saw on Lang Street when we came near Haw River Elementary School. Now, a police officer told us that this road didn't flood until the afternoon, but the risk for flooding had been well documented. And we spoke with one parent who says that she was told that the buses wouldn't be able to pick up or wouldn't be able to drop off her kids, so she was on her way to go pick them up.
I feel like they should have been a little bit more cautious and maybe today took precautionary to just close.
Now, she also told us that she got that call just around 2 p.m. that she was going to have to go and pick up her own kids. And also, too, we just reached out to the district. We reached out, and Lori Bryan from the district gave us a statement that read in part that said that all of the school buses did make it safely. Some of them were detoured because of closing roads and because of flooding on those roads, but then also mentioned that one particular bus that had been towed away that some viewers had reached out and showed us videos of was because of a mechanical issue that had nothing to do with the weather. You can read her full statement to me on my Twitter account at Tony Black TV. For right now, I'll send it back to you guys.
Tony Black live in Alamance County. Tony, thank you so much. The worst of Florence is gone. It is north, but there is still a threat for thunderstorms tonight. Tim, what can we expect?
I'll tell you what, most of us are actually going to stay pretty dry for today, but there are a couple of those scattered showers and even a scattered thunderstorm that could happen. I think you saw it in Tony's shot there over in Alamance County, how a little bit darker, a little bit of rain possibly even in the area, but most of us have that bright blue sky, and isn't that a sight for sore eyes? Winston-Salem, look at you. Greensboro, High Point looking really nice right now, and the sky is brightening up a touch here in Burlington. I'll show you the latest radar. Where's Florence, you say? Well, how about up here? The center of the storm has made it all the way to Ohio now. We are on the back side, really nothing left of it except for this one line of storms that has been firing up, mainly in a straight line here from Alamance down to southern Randolph, and even the corner of Guilford County has a little bit of a downpour right there. Here's the city of Burlington. Notice you have a little bit of light showers and a couple of heavier ones going over toward Mebane. You've actually had a good amount of rain today in Alamance County, which did not have as much rain yesterday. Anywhere from 2 to 3 and 4 inches. That's very significant. And over in Durham County, how about 7 inches or more? It's been pretty dry east or west of Greensboro, I should say. And this is why I show you the water vapor sometimes, kind of like an X-ray of the atmosphere. The brighter colors, that's the moist, warm, humid air, and the drier colors, that's where that bone dry air is kind of working its way back in here. So it's going to be hard to have rain tonight, but I wouldn't rule out an isolated shower, maybe a thunderstorm through the late evening hours. We'll keep an eye on that radar for you, but after today, things really do get a lot better. Partly sunny skies for tomorrow, a low chance of a shower or a sprinkle from time to time, and the 7-day forecast is in really, really good shape. We will keep an eye on the rivers over the next little bit, but the river flooding should subside too once we get past Tuesday. Lots of sun this week, and it's going to be much warmer than you'd expect for September. Mid to upper 80s with lows still a little muggy in the upper 60s.
Out on the North Carolina coast, many roads are closed or flooded as folks try to return home. We're talking about 1,200 roads closed across the state right now. Power crews and emergency vehicles are managing to move around Pender County.
Now, our crews are still out at the coast. WFMY News 2's Chad Silber is there now with a first look at Currituck Beach since the storm has passed.
Yeah, Tahesha and Julie, this is really the first beach we've been able to get on since Florence hit. You know, there've been police blockades all over the place trying to keep people safe. So we were able to get onto Carolina and Currituck Beach today, and that's where we are now. And we have been so grateful that the damage we have seen has been fairly minimal compared to what we've seen in Wilmington and elsewhere. For example, this is the pier right here in Currituck Beach. You can see some of the railings both on on the right side and the left side have been blown over as you go down the pier, but it looks as though the integrity of the pier is intact. We can't see the floorboards here, but we're hoping that maybe it's just minimal repair. As for the beach itself, a lot of it has eroded away. A lot of these sand dunes have done their job in keeping some of the land past the sand safe, but unfortunately the sand dunes have not worked everywhere. Check out this video we got just about 45 minutes ago. We saw the Ocean Dunes condominiums really dealing with some significant damage. You can't tell just by looking at them, but once you get closer, you can see how those powerful wind and waves the other day actually eroded the sand from underneath those entire buildings. Now, when that happened, it caused the concrete slabs to fall because gravity, there was nothing holding them up. And then when that happened, everything that the concrete was holding up fell as well. It's going to take some incredible repairs to make the repairs necessary so those are livable again. But back here live, honestly, we haven't seen much more damage than the two things we just showed you. There's been very minimal flooding. We haven't seen many trees down. Some of the island still has power. As for Carolina Beach, the security is so tight over there, we haven't been able to get over there because we don't live on the island. We have heard that the damage there is minimal, but a little bit worse than here. The lake over there has flooded, but again, we do not know the extent of the damage because of it. But it is difficult, and not a lot of people, only residents allowed to get here at this point. Back to you guys.
Chad Silber live at Curie Beach. Let's go now to WFMY News 2's Monica Garcia, where I understand a rescue is happening right now. Monica.
Yes, we're in downtown Lumberton. That's correct, downtown Lumberton. This gentleman's just been rescued. Are you okay? What happened?
Ain't nothing happened. I've just got a little small itch, that's all.
It's scary, right?
Yes.
Why didn't you evacuate yesterday?
I wanted to stay.
And then what happened?
I decided to leave.
Are you grateful to these guys?
Yes, they cool.
Okay, why were you not able to walk out yourself? Okay, so we are watching this rescue near downtown Lumberton. This is, we're going to back up a little bit because they're assessing this right now. They're making sure that he's okay. So let me tell you how this happened to give you an idea where we're at first. We're near downtown Lumberton. We were part of a volunteer rescue group. They had done a few sweeps over the past couple of days, making sure people were out and mainly rescuing animals. We were walking to our car, wrapping up for our 5 o'clock live shot. We heard someone say, "Help." Okay. The streets are quiet. All we hear are dogs barking. Those are getting rescued. So when you hear that, it's shocking. So my photographer, Daniel Clark, looked down the neighborhood, spotted this guy waving a T-shirt saying, "Come and get us." And we ran down there. Now, he's one of them. He's just one. How many people are you guys rescuing? How many people? 2? Yeah, okay, 2. So we're going to walk back down there. So that's one person. We ran down there. We called the volunteer crew we had been working with. They already loaded up their boat and everything. Went down this street, and finally, I'm telling you, this took about 20 minutes to get to these folks. That's why it's so important when these mandatory evacuations go on. You need to get out because this is a long process. But thankfully, they're able to leave. Hold on, let me see if we can actually talk to them. Hi, guys. Okay, so what happened?
So we got called for 2 people that were stranded. Ended up being 4 of them. So like I said, last minute stuff, emergency services, once they do a mandatory evacuation, they won't go in. So that was they got Cajun Navy relief.
And what kind of condition are the people in?
They're a little shaken up. I mean, they're losing everything again. Like one of them was just saying that they haven't even recovered from the last time.
For Matthew. Okay, 2 years ago. Okay, I'm going to try not to stick this microphone in their face, so I'm just going to wait and see if they want to talk. How are you guys doing? Who was it that was waving for help? Oh my gosh, do you realize that you likely saved some lives here? What did you say? You saw us go by. What were you saying?
I seen y'all go by, and I said, get the camera people right there. Help, we need help.
Why didn't you evacuate yesterday?
Well, because the water wasn't in the house yesterday, and we thought we may be able to stick it out, and it came downstairs, it filled the downstairs, and then we still thought we'd be able to stick it out, but the water just kept rising.
Now, you're the young man in a group. Okay, is this your grandpa or who is this?
That's my roommate. Yeah.
And so when is the point where you start getting scared? You're like, you know what, we're leaving?
I don't know, because I went through it the last time, and it took a while for me to leave the last time because the water didn't never get into the house until like overnight. Then when overnight we woke up, the water was in the front door.
Okay, let me ask you this, because we're walking in it, and a lot of people will go, well, why don't you walk through it, you know?
We walk through it sometimes. The thin part, we try to stay out of the thick part.
No, I'm telling you, then that's very smart that you guys didn't try to do that. We are prepared. We're with the sheriff's department behind us. If you guys would have tried to walk through, who knows? I mean, they do say that. Okay, what are you going to do? Is this your house?
No, I'm renting from Mr. Stubb.
How awful is it to see it like this flooded? I mean, let me go around. Sorry. I know you said this is the second time you've dealt with this.
This is the second time we going through this, so you know, I haven't got over the first time, so I'm still rebuilding from the first time. So you know, just take it one day at a time.
And your neighbors around? We don't see anybody else. You guys were the last ones in the neighborhood. I know a lot of people said they didn't want to evacuate because of looters. Have you seen that? People going around? No. Okay. That's just a rumor we've heard so far. We have not confirmed that. So far, everybody that's been walking around that state, they've been very friendly, and they just are kind of like these guys. Water hasn't reached our house, so we're going to let you guys continue. Obviously, we only stopped them because they're okay. Their condition seems to be fine. So let me just tell you about the driver here and then the guy right here in the back. These are volunteers. They came all the way from Indiana to help. One of them is a fire chief in Indiana. Another one is a biomedic engineer. I'm not joking. And they've volunteered their time. They're not getting paid for this. Bringing their boat, doing all of this to save folks, just like these three guys you see there. And you can tell they look fatigued. They're talking, and look, there he is right there. Do you see him, Daniel Clark, by the fire hydrant? He's walking around. They gave him a bottle of water. Now, the guy he's talking to, it just really shows you how many people are out here helping. He is from American Rescue. They came down from New Jersey, and they're also volunteers. These are all nonprofits. So when I shout out their name, you guys go to their website and donate, because this is what they're doing. They're saving people. American Rescue earlier saved a dog. It was so sad to see sitting on a front porch, left behind by its owners. I tell you that because they had a collar on, and thankfully he was saved.
The school bus is going back.
You're back on dry land.
Right. Thank God. God is good.
Where are you going to go now?
I guess to a shelter right now until I can get up to with some of my family members in Fayetteville. So I guess to the shelter for right now.
Okay, so please, folks back at the station, this is your time to put up the graphics, or if we have anything at the shelters. Do you know what shelter you're going to?
No, I do not. They say there were some buses up the top up there that taking people to shelters. So.
Yeah, we did see the bus come through. We saw the Coast Guard. What we've been recommending people is walking around with this whistle. This guy's randomly saved us. It helped save you. I'm going to tell you really quick before you leave. When you were shouting for help, we could barely hear you, and you were only about a block down there, okay? Shouting and waving. I turned around and I was like, hey guys, and they were about a block away. Help, help. My photographer has this whistle here, 99-cent whistle I think he picked up, and blew that whistle. And here they come turning around, because that's what they can hear. So I know when you talk about these hurricane preparation kits and items like that you might say, I don't need that. Yes, you do. We needed it, and it saved you. What is your name?
Alan Easton.
Are you lifelong Lumberton resident?
Yes, I am. Proud military, been in Lumberton all my life, and this I'm 50-some years old, and this is the second time I'm going through this in my lifetime, you know, and it's a disaster. You know.
How does it make you feel knowing that the men that saved your lives are also veterans?
Oh, I love it. We talk, and some of them have the same MOS I used to have. So.
What do you think about that?
Great.
Okay, God bless. You've been saved. Your roommate's been saved. Okay, so here we go. I know that, can someone just make sure that we're still up in my ear, just confirming? I know we've been going for a while, but I will walk over here to the animals. Okay, guys, this little guy right here, this was the animal, the dog that was saved earlier. We were part of this whole rescue mission. We shot great video of this. Just took about 30 minutes to get to this dog. And the way it happens is someone gets reports, a rumor that they hear dogs barking. The owners have left this guy behind. You can tell he's got a collar. And so we get on the boat with these volunteers, because the sheriff's department said for liability we couldn't go with them. We found these volunteers, get on the boat, get to this guy. Now the scary part is he going to be friendly? It's a friendly dog, right? Very friendly. Yes. Out here, we were part of the rescue mission.
Yeah, so he was chained up in the backyard. When we approached him, he was not very friendly with us. He's just mostly really scared right now, so we're just using caution, but he's a sweet guy.
Okay, Pete, all the way out here. How does it make you feel knowing that people abandon their pets like that?
You know, we hope that everybody takes their animals with them when they evacuate. That's why there's shelters set up so that you can evacuate with your animals.
Okay, so this is what happens. Oh, this poor little guy, you can just tell. He seems scared. So we're going to walk over here. These are other, does anybody know anything about these dogs here?
They were just, I don't want to.
They were just found. They were, okay, might have been stray dogs. I don't see collars on them. Okay, one does have a collar on them, a puppy. Okay, look how terrified they are. So this is what happens. Their first job with these volunteers is they go through looking for people, answering to the cries for help. Their second job, this is the second sweep here in downtown Lumberton, is to find the pets. And the heartbreaking part is she just said the pet was on a chain in the backyard. Okay, these are friendly dogs. The one we found was sitting on a couch outside its owner's house, looking terrified. The other ones are just puppies. So we're going to be in downtown Lumberton. The only reason why we're here, guys, is because we were following the sheriff's department. So we do recommend do not come. I will tell you, car after car has been turned around down here on this road just outside downtown Lumberton. Back to you guys.
Monica Garcia live in Lumberton, and you're watching live rescues happening of people as well as animals right here on WFMY News 2 at 5 o'clock. The rescues and the help continues. Right now, WFMY News 2's Jessica Winters is in New Bern, where Governor Roy Cooper is assisting right now.
Yes, Julie, Governor Roy Cooper just showed up within the past 10 minutes, and he is behind me right now actually handing out meals to some of the victims. And some of the comments I've heard him say is hang in there. And even though people, even for people who haven't lost their homes, perhaps they've lost things in their refrigerator, because you have to keep in mind, for a while, everyone in New Bern, nobody had power. They just held a press conference earlier today saying 80% of that power has been restored in New Bern. So that still means 20% are without power. That means without hot meals. You know, people have been eating canned goods and have been relying on the kindness of others' hearts for so long at this point. And there he is. He's in someone's car right now just talking to them. He spends time, has conversations with these people to see how they're doing. Again, we're at Temple Baptist Church. This is in New Bern. I think we all know by now this was one of the hardest hit areas after Hurricane and during Hurricane Florence. So we've been here all day, and one thing I can say is this place has a lot of heart. I did live here for a while, and it's just neighbors helping neighbors and strangers helping strangers. It's just been beautiful to see, and I don't need help. I live in Greensboro. I live in Greensboro right now, and within the past 4 hours, I've been offered a hot shower, I've been offered a sandwich, I've been offered a hot meal, I've been offered water bottles, and I've been offered lots of hugs. That's just the kind of people that live here. That is New Bern. And so many people have said over and over again, we will rebuild. We will rebuild stronger than ever. And I think the governor's presence right now is encouraging people. Red Cross is here. They're helping hand out meals, also disaster relief with NC Baptist Men. And there's not a limit to how many meals these people can get. You know, you see one person, one passenger rolling up, and they can ask for 5 meals if they have 5 members of their family. It doesn't go by how many people are in the car. And then they can roll up and then get some water, and everyone will ask, how many water bottles do you need? Like I said, there's no limit. If you need it, they will provide it. And like I said, that's just the kind of heart, and that's just the kind of people in New Bern. They're using the hashtag New Bern Strong, which I think is very, very fitting. I live right on the river, and a lot of my neighbors were hit in the hardest area right now. I'm gonna see if, where did he go, the governor? I'm gonna see if he can talk to me. Do you have eyes on him? Oh, okay. Let me see if he'll speak for 1 second. Governor Cooper, can we chat with you for 1 second?
Indeed, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure.
Governor Cooper,
Thanks.
thank you for being here. I heard you talking to many of people. You're in their vehicle saying, how are you doing? What's the reaction?
A lot of people are without power. Some people are without homes. It's a frustration, but there's also hope, and they're so grateful for all these volunteers who've taken time out of their lives to come from all over the state, some from out of state, to help people in need. And people in North Carolina are going to be with everyone here for the long haul. We've got a long recovery ahead, and in fact, in certain parts of our state, we're still pulling people out of floodwaters as rivers are continuing to rise. And
like in the Triad, we're from Greensboro, like in Lumberton, like in Kinston.
Fayetteville and Columbus County and Goldsboro, all across our state. This has been a widespread disaster, and we're still in rescue recovery mode. We're going to have a big challenge, but I believe the people of North Carolina can pull together and we can get this done. I have no doubt about that.
Thank you so much for speaking with us.
I know you guys have been out there working hard too right now.
Yes, we're right there with you, Governor. We're right there with you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So there you heard it from Governor Cooper himself, and he is going to continue to pass out some meals. I didn't want to take too much of his time because he is doing some really good work right now and really getting into the communities that were hit the hardest. Like I said, New Bern was right on the front lines for all that damage. I was taking a tour of the historic downtown New Bern today, and I can tell you there is still a lot of damage. Some people displaced. I say some, but many people are displaced. That's the appropriate word for it. So we, of course, will have more for you coming up at 6. We're going to continue to get a lay of the land and really just help people here because I think that's what's important.
Jessica, thank you. Governor Cooper handing out meals in New Bern. New Bern right now still has a curfew. There is a boil advisory in that area, and damage estimates are starting to come in for New Bern right now at about $30 million in damage estimates, but that number is expected to rise. For the first time in days, the sun came out. Florence is gone, but flooding, as you've seen during our reports here on WFMY News 2 at 5, the flooding and the threat still exists.
WFMY News 2's Eddie Randall spent the day in Smithfield at the Neuse River. He shares what people are saying about this storm compared to the last.
We're just a bunch of friendly folks.
Feel okay?
It's all smiles at the diner in Smithfield.
You want some coffee, baby?
That comes after days of dealing with what Hurricane Florence brought their way.
It's kind of scary this go around because of what we got with Matthew last time as far as the water. Me personally, I mean, I'm 33 years old. I've never seen that much water in my life whenever Matthew came through.
The elements of this hurricane still shocked Lindsay Hall.
The winds were a little bit tougher in this one, I think.
She's happy to see the brighter days ahead.
It's just looking really pretty outside with all this sunshine.
Although the rain lightened and the wind has stopped, you can still see what the storm left behind. Areas like the Neuse River are still flooded with standing water like an unwanted guest. What used to be a trail is now submerged.
I mean, it was just water, water, water.
The Johnson County Emergency Management Office has been keeping in close contact with the National Weather Service. It says the Neuse River here is cresting at 18.9 feet and no longer rising. But you can clearly see how much water Hurricane Florence dumped onto this area by everything that is swamped, including that dock, trees, and parking signs.
We're just blessed that this was not like Matthew.
Lindsay continues to keep her smile.
I have a sunny disposition about a lot of things.
Y'all okay?
She says it's the positivity that helps her remember what's really important.
Stuff that storms take out is replaceable. Lives are not.
In Smithfield.
We're good. We're good over here in Smithfield, North Carolina at the diner. We're good and open for business.
Eddie Randall,
Thank you for coming.
WFMY News 2.
So happy to see that they are good. We will continue wanting to see all of North Carolina to be good. But here in the Piedmont Triad, Tim, you are still watching for possibly some rain tonight.
Yeah, there's a little bit out there, guys. There's not much. So most of our areas are just like this. Let me show you. So look, blue sky. Have you seen this yet today? Partly cloudy, Greensboro, High Point, Winston-Salem. A little bit of dark and threatening skies still in Burlington. We'll want to show you the latest radar. Mainly dry from the foothills to the Triad cities. A couple showers in the mountains we'll keep an eye on, but really looking at you in Alamance County. You've actually gotten a good amount of rain today. This is kind of indirectly related to Florence. The storm is farther away now, but this is kind of a lingering band, a pestering band, really. Right now in Burlington, just south of 40, you see one lightning strike here and some pretty heavy rainfall. Won't last that long, but there could be a couple more that form in this line. Here's Montgomery County that's been hit so hard. We have a shower south of there in the city of Rockingham headed up towards Sanford and in those same areas that got hit so hard with the rainfall. I want to show you some totals. This is taking all the way into account Friday's rain through yesterday and today. Asheboro, how about 10.5 inches? These are at the official reporting stations, close to 8 inches in Greensboro, Lexington around 5, Burlington around 5. And throughout the storm, we were saying, anywhere from 5 to 10 inches was a good possibility. That's pretty much how it played out, and it did result in some of that major flooding. Our News 2 weather spotters chiming in. These are just totals from yesterday. So there's a lot of rain out there. It's no doubt we had so many flooding concerns. The rest of the week is not a big problem, honestly, because we could only see a stray shower or a sprinkle heading into your Tuesday. And then the rest of the week is going to be in good shape. I think you'll really enjoy once we get to Wednesday. Partly cloudy skies, and this is all for all of North Carolina too. The whole state should have partly cloudy conditions all the way through the weekend. It will be calm, it will be tranquil, and good weather for cleaning up all of the damage and the mess that's left as Hurricane Florence pulls away.
Some of the most incredible stories throughout this storm have been the rescues. Over the last 3 days, Coast Guard crews rescued more than 130 people and 20 pets.
A Randolph County man who volunteers to save lives almost became a victim himself. A washed out road nearly cost the off-duty Seagrove firefighter his life.
WFMY News 2's Jaleesa Irizarry has the story of a young man's brush with death and the mother who had to witness it.
If these walls could talk,
there's part of the road right there.
They'd tell the story.
Caller advising he is stuck in the water in this location in his vehicle.
Of a family gathering. No one ever wanted.
Scariest moment of my life.
Angie Reed was visiting the Seagrove Fire Department when a DOT worker came on by, alerting them that Clyde King Road flooded.
So I instantly text my son, Chase, don't go Clyde King to Ridge Road. Go back to 705. And it was too late.
We didn't see the water, and before we know it was up to the doors in water, and it was about almost waist deep.
Water rushing into his car, his fellow firefighters en route, along with his mom, fearing the worst.
I'm gonna lose my son and my son-in-law. My grandkids aren't gonna grow up with a dad.
It was Chase's father who got to him and his brother-in-law mere seconds.
It was about 30 seconds later.
Before the bridge collapsed and the car was captured by the creek.
And we never saw the car again.
I was like, well, that could have been us, but we got out in time. Thank God.
I was just extremely thankful, but in disbelief that I actually saw something like that, the stuff that you only see on the news, and you don't think that it's going to happen to you, and you don't think that it's going to happen in your town. It's not going to happen on the road that you grew up on. But yeah, it does.
In Seagrove, Jaleesa Irizarry, WFMY News 2.
Frightening, and that damage too. Well, this just in, Angie Reed sent us this photo. They found the car. She tells us it was about 400 to 500 yards down from where it went off.
In this story, happy to see a happy ending there.
And it's so frightening to see, but that they found the car, but everyone is okay.
We'll be right back.